Heyo, how is it going, amigos? Hang on. Switching to these. Putting these guys on. Hopefully you guys can hear me better and I can hear some music better. Sorry for being a little bit late to start this. I literally just finished filming the unboxing for the MegaSize unicorn, which I've got here. So I need to kind of get everything set up. So kind of a mess. Got my poly caps, chopsticks. Not gonna really need those for later. Menu, beer, and I'm ready to enjoy this delicious feast. So, all right, this delicious feast. Yes. So yeah, hello to all you guys in the chat. I know this kit has been out for a little over a week. I guess it's been a week or 2 weeks. A week or 2 weeks. I order my stuff here in Korea off of the Gundam Hobby Bandai Mall. Bandai Mall is the site here in Korea where I order my stuff from, and this was actually came out in Japan, and then it was a few days before they had it on Bandai Mall. I don't really know why, but Bandai Mall was a little bit late to get it, so I had to wait for them to have it on their site. I don't know if maybe just the Korean release date was a little bit later, but anyway, I finally got this, and if you saw on my Facebook page, I posted up a photo that also got in today. A few other things: the Jim weapons, and the Best Girl kit. So we'll work on those later, but I'm most interested in checking out this MegaSize unicorn. Now, as you guys know, you want to know what smartphone I use? I currently use a iPhone 7 there. Yeah. As you guys know, I'm almost, I promise, actually, almost done with the MegaSize Zaku, but will probably within the next few days, probably this week, that will be finished. So, the Dog Lord asks, Zach, will you get the Dragon Momoko Exia Avalanche Dash? No, a lot of people have been asking me for that, and I actually got in touch with Dragon Momoko about, because I don't really want to buy that kit, but a lot of people have been asking me to review it, so I actually sent an email to Dragon Momoko and told them, hey, a lot of people are asking me to review this kit. I don't really want to buy it, but if you guys want to send one to me, I'm sure that would help you guys with your sales, right? So basically asking if they wanted to sponsor me one. And they asked me if I have Snapchat, and I said no, and then they never responded again. So I guess they only want to do that if I have Snapchat. So I actually do have Snapchat, but I've never figured out how to use it. So I haven't really done anything with that. So this is going to take a little bit of room, and just kind of need to organize this. Like I said, I just finished recording the unboxing video, so I need to kind of organize this stuff a little bit. Let's put our polycaps over here, and this stuff. This is another, I can give you a little preview of this. This was something that I have been kind of chipping away at a little bit this week. This little Gyanko, the Karagai Gyanko. Painting that. Hand painting with lacquers. So that, oh shit. So yeah, as usual, guys, if you want to ask any questions in the chat, please put that in all caps. I don't know why I'm seeing that chat so small. Can I make that larger? Maybe if I look at that from the different page here. But yeah, let's see. How can I see that differently. I don't want to see that. I want to see. Excuse me. I really want to try to finish this kit in one live stream here, but I need to be able to see that chat a little bit better as well. So here we go. The live control room. That's what I'm looking for. I know there's going to be some friends hanging out in the chat, so we'll see. Let's see, where is the chat? There we go. It's a little bit better here. Okay. So yeah, if you guys want to ask questions, please put your question in all caps. That just helps me to see the question easier when I glance up at the chat. I think Alex is maybe not in the chat yet, but he will probably be there, I suppose. Maybe sometime during this, and he'll help me moderate the chat there. Fumina or Gyanko for Kit Bash? I would go for Gyanko just because I like her better. Will you come to Malaysia anytime soon? I've got no plans to visit Malaysia, but if there's like some event or something like that going on, I'm not gonna just go there just for no reason. But if I'm invited to go there for some event or something, then maybe. Are you living in Korea like permanently? No, probably not. What time is it there right now? It's almost 12. So let's get cracking. Pencil, hit it. I'm hitting it, dude. All right. So first, I kind of need to get this stuff a little bit more organized. So just kind of threw it all in the box, trying to do the unboxing as fast as possible. We'll move this one to, oh, maybe that's kind of convenient to keep that there. Also, one thing that I keep forgetting to do every time I do, someone asks, what are you drinking? Some acai. Because Korean beer is pretty shit, and Japanese beer is much better. Yeah, so one thing that I always forget to do when I do these live chats is I put on my earphones, and then I forget to play any music because I'm just busy kind of talking at you guys. But I do want to actually listen to some music or something, so I'm gonna cue up some music here before I get started, because that will help me to stay focused and yeah, get as much work done on this as I can, show you guys as much as I can. Hopefully gonna finish. But there's actually a lot more in this box than I thought. I don't really know why I was expecting it to be any less, but the unicorn is obviously a more complicated design than like the Zaku, for example. So I want to search for this and play some of this playlist. I found someone on YouTube made a huge playlist of like 260 videos of Odessa, Flume, Kyogo, and more, which is all kind of some jams that I could surely enjoy. So I'm gonna listen to some of that. It's basically similar to what I was listening to in the last live stream. Will you guys, please, I don't plan on doing any dabbing tonight. Unless we get some haters in the chat, then, you know, we'll dab on them. But can you do a giveaway on a Zaku? No. What's your favorite Gundam? My favorite Gundam is probably the gun cannon. That's my favorite Gundam. How do you like that? All right, so step one, separate the C1 and C2 runners. I love that. One more. Okay, then we're gonna take C1, which is this half, and C2 back in the box. PC6, need 2 of these. I guess this is, we need 1 or 2 of these. Wait a minute. Ah, okay. Yeah, no, wait. I need 1 or 2. I'm guessing 2, because I'm making 2 sets of this ankle joint. So we've got the runner like this. polycap in. This is their sprue lock, I think I remember what this is called. Yeah, okay, this is ×2. Okay, I couldn't see the ×2 on that. This is one thing that I think is a little bit annoying about MegaSize manuals is, especially the first page always looks like this, and it's such a mess of information. There's so much on here. It's just like, it's very, very visually confusing. I don't like to stare at the manual for that long while I'm building. I like to just be able to look, see what I need, cut it out, and build it. But once you get polycaps in, and that is the only polycaps that I need, right? Okay, don't want to miss anything. You can press the two runners together, and then your parts are already together. Pops in, and this one's not wanting to go together. Let's see. So I'm maybe just going to save myself by just not pressing that together all the way because it doesn't seem to want to go together. And just cut these guys out. So here it looks like we've got the knee joints and the ankle joints, or part of the ankle joints that we're building. So the steps of this kit is basically, the steps of building, I should say, is basically going from the ground up. So you're building the legs, then the waist, torso, arms, head, and weapons last. Weapons are usually last, so that's pretty normal, but I kind of like that order. Sometimes when I'm building kits, not sometimes, often when I'm building kits, I kind of skip around to steps because I like to be able to, like, when I complete a step, I like to be able to put it onto the step that I already completed before. So like if you build the legs first and the next step is the arms, I'll just skip the arms and just like go to the waist so that I can build up the waist and then connect the legs onto the waist, and then the torso, and then the arms after that. So you don't have to use nippers and knife for this kit, but I think I'm going to save myself a lot of time and putty by using this normal method. And why do these not want to go together? The polycap is not in there straight, or what? What's the deal? Well, let's all cut out or snap out our parts separator because I already need it. Okay. So, sorry I'm not paying attention to the chat, but I'm getting into this here. Music's a little bit loud. I hope I'm not like shouting because my wife and son are sleeping, but it's over the other end of the apartment. It should be okay, but I feel like if my music is loud in my ears, I'm going to be like shouting at you guys. And why is this not going together? Yeah. Okay, what's the deal? Annoying. I don't like feeling annoyed on the first step of the build. Just sets you up for being in a bad mood. And I'm such in a good mood. In such a good mood? Why is this not going together? Usually if something that is not going together, you can like pull it apart and you can see where the polycap is stressed. But I'm not seeing anything, so I'm wondering what is the problem. I just need to like smash it with some like destroy mode might here or something. What is the deal? Okay, I guess it went together. I guess that worked, sort of, but still not together there. So where is something hard? What is that? Why is that not going back? It's really annoying, frustrating, and considering I'm trying to build this relatively quickly, I'm really not trying to spend like 10 minutes just trying to get these two parts to fit together properly. Annoying. And with all of my experience with MegaSize model kits, you definitely need the parts separator for pulling the parts of it together. It's just, I don't know, the parts they make them really tight, the pegs, so they're really strong, sturdy kits, which is good. But if you are disassembling them, you definitely need the part separator. All right, so just fuck you, please. All right. Oh, why is this not going together firmly? I don't know. But I'm going to try it one more time, and hopefully this time it will not go together. Okay. Okay, that part is not going to be firmly together. That's okay. We'll just sort that out later when it comes time for painting, and I actually am going to spend more time working on the kit. For now, we're moving on. Ain't nobody got time for that. Pieces that don't want to stay together. More questions in the chat. Thanks for supporting Zach USA Gundam Store. Yeah. Give a big shout out to them. I don't know if you guys are maybe seeing that in the chat. I know Adam, the owner of USA Gundam Store, told me that they were planning on watching the stream whilst doing some work there, packing some orders, he said. So if Adam and whoever else there at USA Gundam Store, yeah, maybe watching this, thank you. And you guys are awesome. Yeah, this part, someone asked in the chat there, Fort asked, which part is this that's giving me a headache? It is the knee joint, where there's a polycap in there. Let me try it without the polycap. See if the polycap is the issue, or the polycap doesn't want to come out now. There we go. See if the polycap is the issue or just the pegs. Yeah, without the polycap, it goes together fine. So that means it's because of the polycap. Now take it apart again. We'll put the polycap back in and try to see. Maybe I have the polycap in there backwards. Oh, fuck. That's probably what I did wrong. The polycap's probably in there backwards. There is a certain way the polycap's supposed to go. This is what I'm talking about why this is too busy. In all of this mess, I couldn't see that there is a certain way that you're supposed to have the polycap insert in there. So that's why you pay attention and take your time and don't rush these things. So I'm going to guess I had that polycap in there wrong, and that's probably the deal with the other one as well. So I'll pull that one apart as well. Okay, polycap is supposed to go in there that way. Okay, yeah, now it fits in there perfectly fine. Okay, I'm dumb. The kit is fine. I'm just dumb. I figured that was the problem. I mean, I didn't figure the polycap was inserted wrong. I mean, I figured that it was my issue of not following the instructions correctly. That was the problem. I also, in my fit of rage, forgot to clean up the nubs on this part. So how many minutes in and we're on barely finished with the first step here? It's not looking too good, but hey, can you make a video about how to request a commission? I guess so, considering that I do sort of get asked that. Not that often, but anytime I do any sort of video and mention anything about doing commissions, I usually get people asking me about it. So I guess doing a frequently asked FAQ, frequently asked question video about requesting commission, or just like kind of commissions in general, would probably be a good idea. I have a list in my phone here of ideas for frequently asked question videos that I need to make. It's just a matter of sitting down and recording them. So yeah, I think that polycap is also backwards. I'm dumb. Sorry. And yeah, the polycap is really fucked up now. Oops. But should work now that I put it in the right way. Okay, there we go. Okay. No harm, no foul. Can now move on to the next. This is runner J. This one's also ×2, so I need runner J3 and 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And J3, 4. And the other J parts I don't need at the moment, I think. Also, the way they have the parts in a manual labeled, it's also kind of harder to see than in a normal manual, just because they also include like the little picture of which section it is. So you guys are probably not going to be able to see this very clearly. I'll try to show you here. Hang on a part that may be easier to see. So you can see on the runner, there's like the number 7, and then it shows the little picture of some arms there. That means that this part is actually going for the arms. But they show you that in the manual as well. So you have that and the letter and the number, and it's kind of smaller than usual as well. So it's kind of harder to see than usual. But anyway, that's runner F14 and 15 here. Parts for the feet in white. Will you be building any of the Build Fighters GM counterattacks kits? Yeah, I'm guessing you missed the very beginning of the stream where I showed you guys that I did also get the Hyper Gyanko and the Jim. Also got those kits in today. So I'll work on those later, probably later in the week. So I'll do this one first. I've got my Chinagai review. I'll be posting tomorrow morning or tomorrow later in the day probably. I have to finish editing that first. And then I've got a review of the HG00 Gundam. Recently got that in a Gunpla delivery video from HLJ, if you guys saw that. So last week I snapped that kit up. So I've got to review just the HG00 Gundam and then other new kits, Hyper Gyanko and the Jim and the Jim weapons. Oh shit, I need these parts as well. These parts are really huge. Considering like if they're just building the real grade, so 144 and now 148, it's a big jump in size. So I wonder how easy it would be to build this kit without a manual. If you've built any other version of the Unicorn, I think you could probably do it, because it's just such a, I mean, all the parts are very easily recognizable. Will you get this Psycho Gym? No, I don't plan on getting the Psycho Gym. Just not really interested. It looks pretty cool, but not really interested in buying that. M9 is that one there. And then this one for the bottom of the foot. I'm sure I need that one as well. Building up a nice stack of parts here. I've never watched any of my streaming videos of building anything. This is how I usually work. I'll cut out all the parts I need for a certain section at one time and then work on that. So these are all the parts for the feet that I'm cutting out at the moment. And they look absolutely humongous. Jim is here. So Jim is there moderating the chat. Hey, Jim. Zach, were you able to get the Impulse Blanche? No, Jim, so far not, but a couple people did message me about it. One guy has one new, and another guy has one that is just snapped. That's already snapped, but he's willing to trade that. So there's a couple options that I did find. What were you going through? What you're going through right now with the Impulse Blanche? Are you trading the one thing I hate? Oh yeah. So Jim doesn't like that about P Bandai kits. How if you miss a kit that doesn't get reissued often, then it's kind of hard to ever get it again. Yeah. So yeah, I posted on my Facebook page about wanting to get an Impulse Blanche, and just to fill you guys in if you hadn't seen that, and yeah, a couple people have said that they maybe have that option, so should be able to sort one out. I just need to message them. As last time I checked, I hadn't got a message back about that. Let me just check my messages here. That was Rick. Oh, okay. He has seen my message, but he hasn't replied yet. Okay. Hang on, guys. I know this is probably super fun to watch me checking my Facebook messages. Any plan to paint a Dragon Ball Mecha Collection figure? No plans, but yeah, I want to. I mean, I have them all. I need to paint them eventually, but I'm working on, as far as like tiny kits painting. I do have not this one, but one like this, 1/35 scale Matte K kit over there. I'm working on painting, as well as the Kara Giganko. Hang on. How about MG? Continue, finish, Banshee. Anyway, no, I need part 13, which is this one here. Yeah, so if any of you guys watching have the Master Grade Destiny Impulse Blanche and are willing to part with it, then please send me a message. Maybe you don't follow my Facebook page, or you didn't see my post on my Facebook page about that. But looking for that kit now. And willing to pay handsomely for it by trading you one snapped high grade. Hey, Zach, do you think an airbrush with a hand pump is better than spray cans? What's a hand pump? Never heard of that. A hand pump for an airbrush. I don't know what that means. Will you be building any more of the MegaSize kit? I'm guessing you mean MegaSize kits, as in any of the other MegaSize kits. Probably not. I've built the Zaku, obviously, because I'm still working on that. And I have built a MegaSize ARC-78 too Gundam. It was the clear color one that I built. That was actually Alex's kit. But probably won't get another MegaSize kit unless they release another one. I mean, it will in the future. I'll give you guys a little bit of a spoiler for the unboxing video. Whilst filming the unboxing video, I noticed something very interesting on one of the runners. I'll show you here just a second. But basically confirms for me that at least that Bandai is at least considering the option of making a MegaSize Banshee. If you take a look at the runner here, you can see, let me see, you can see this section is a separate section here which can be omitted, and this is the part for the color of the unicorn, which on the Banshee obviously is a different color. So probably, maybe, hopefully going to be getting a MegaSize Banshee at some point. The V-fin also, which would be the other separate part, as well as the faceplate, is not, the faceplate's not separated, but I think they could probably just put that on a different runner. I don't know what they would do for the V-fin, but you can see they could obviously just make this V-fin different, but probably what they would do is just omit this V-fin part and then just have a separate runner with new parts for the head, because the head actually does have a few more new parts to it than the chest would be just swapping the parts for the chest. But anyway, that was pretty cool. Would be pretty badass, a MegaSize Banshee. Yeah, a MegaSize Banshee would be awesome. So I'm really hoping that they do that. If you guys would also like to see that, I don't know, buy this kit, I guess. Blanche is French for white. Okay, I guess that makes sense. I also saw Laurent was there in the chat as well. Hello to him. Haven't been watching the chat too closely, so I haven't seen who all's in there. I think I saw Ricardo in there as well. Shout out to Silver Maverick himself. Ricardo there. Oh man. I don't know why, but for like the past week or so, I've like really been jonesing, craving to go to Japan. So it's just like really been on my mind more than usual this past week. So really hoping to go there in November. Need to really bust some butt to get this kit done in this live stream. Son, there's a room size package outside. Oh my god, MegaSize Neozeon. A MegaSize Neozeon would be like a boat. Basically, I think it would be huge. Be absolutely huge. So, yeah. Will you be building any of the Kotobukiya kits like the Red 5 or D style? Not the Red 5 or D style Kotobukiya kits, but I do have a few more Kotobukiya kits that I haven't snapped up yet. One thing that I've noticed, not that recently, but one thing that I am aware of is that I've never fully painted up a Kotobukiya kit. So that's on my to-do list. Probably going to be a frame arms kit. I have a few frame arms kits, and I actually have one more that's just on the way. I had some stuff in my private warehouse at HLJ, as you do, and just ordered that to be sent yesterday. So I just got the email today that order was sent out. So probably around the middle of next week, I suppose you guys will be seeing a complete delivery video from HLJ, and also one more kit coming from E2046. So I mentioned in my last video that I ordered 4 things from E2046, and 2 came in that one, in that last delivery, and then 2 more were in limbo. One of them has shipped, so that's good news. And I think you guys will like that. The other one to ship. I'm seeing you guys asking more questions directly to USA Gundam Store, so I guess maybe Adam is there in the chat. I don't know. Just looking through the chat. I'm not sure about. Seems like there. Maybe Adam or someone else from USA Gundam Store is there in the chat. Hopefully, that'd be pretty cool. You guys can chat with them directly. Those of you in the US should shop there. Greetings from Poland. Is there any way to remove the color from clear parts? And extra question, maybe recommend a method to make chrome gold finish. For making chrome gold finish, you need to spray gloss black, then your chrome color, which would just be like just silver chrome, and then like a yellowish orange on top of that, depending on what exactly color of gold you want, whether you want like more yellow or more orange. It's just a matter of spraying just a clear yellow or clear orange mix on top of just plain chrome. I think that's how people normally do it. I've never done it, but from what I understand, that's basically all there is to it. As far as changing the color of clear parts, you just can't do that. The only way you can change the color of a part that's clear. Oh, if it's just plain clear, obviously you can just paint it in clear paint. It's like if it's just like straight clear and you want it to be clear blue, then you just spray some clear blue on top of that. But if it's a clear blue part and you want it to be like clear red, then the only way to do that, the only way to change that color, it would be to remold the part. So you need to remold that in clear resin, I think is usually what people use. That'd be kind of really the only way. And that's just not the easiest thing to do. In which case, I think your better bet would much easier thing to do is just paint the part. Just forget it. Just give up on that part being clear, which I think most of the time is really not that big of a deal. Because if it's like the eyes, I think you mean if like the eyes are clear blue and you want the eyes to be clear red, just paint the eyes red. I think, I don't know if you're really losing on that much. I think no one's really going to notice. If you had two kits next to each other, everything exactly the same. One had clear red for the eyes and then like some, like let's say like silver painted behind it, just to actually make it actually visible. The kit that had just painted red eyes, it probably would be really hard to tell that difference. And I don't know, one may look better than the other, but that's another question that I tend to get pretty often, people asking about how to change the color of clear parts. It seems like it would be pretty common sense that you just can't without just having to like remold the part, but I guess everyone's a beginner at some point, and maybe it's just not as apparent as it seems it would be. All right, so let's put these feet together. I need some polycaps here. Polycap 1. To use, I use a airbrush compressor from a company called Dettelbug. It's not a very well-known company, but the thing works fine for me, for my purposes. I don't use it every day, but I use it, off and on. If I'm working on painting a kit, I'll use it like every day or close to every day. I don't think this part has a front and a back, does it? So, but yeah, it's worked fine for me so far. I like it pretty well. I don't remember your question if you asked about my airbrush as well as my compressor, but my airbrush that I use is an Iwata Eclipse. I have a Badger airbrush that I had I tried using it for a while and I was just having some trouble with it. I don't know if I'm just like dumb. That's probably the case. And I just couldn't figure out how to use it right. But I couldn't really get it to work well. But the Iwata Eclipse one works great. That one was actually given to me by a friend, Tim Alexio. Awesome guy. So I really owe a lot to him for hooking me up with that airbrush because I've been using it a lot. Will you be building the SD Superior Kaiser? I don't think that's a kit. That's a figure as far as I know. Unless there was some announcement of some kit of that or something. But the Superior Kaiser was just a big, super expensive figure, last I knew. So this bit is a little bit more to the front. Okay. Need some more polycaps here. Play some jam, my guy. Yeah, I would love to play some jams if my video wouldn't get a copyright strike from YouTube. I don't know. I guess I could play something that's royalty free. That'd probably be pretty shite music. And I don't know how I'm going to play like royalty free music, which most royalty free songs are like 2-3 minutes, and just play them just play those for like 2 hours. I feel like that would get pretty old pretty fast. But I guess no music and just listening to me blabbing is probably equally as uninteresting. But take some solace in the fact that these parts are coming to shape, and I forgot to cut out the blue parts. Probably gonna need these as well, I suppose. Play your mixtape, my dude. What's all the my dude? I don't know if that's just like, seems like I'm hearing a lot more my dude than usual suddenly today. I'm cool with it, but I'm just saying. Hang on. The other thing is, like, I don't think I don't really know how to stream music like directly in the stream. I can just like play music, but then you guys are just like hearing that like out of my speakers and then into my mic, and it's like mixed with my voice talking, and it's just not going to sound good. I don't know how to actually put that music directly into the stream. I've never actually checked that out. Your poses for China Guy are so cute. Thank you. It's not easy kit to pose, to be honest. Give you a little spoiler for the review there. Something in there. What was the first Gundam kit you ever built? My first kit, as far as I can remember, was the HG 100 scale Shenlong Gundam. One of Bandai's old 100 scale HG Gundam Wing Series kits. There was not a whole lot of options available on the Toys R Us shelves at the time, back in the day. Make a young Goku X Bear Guy custom. It's not a bad idea. Zach, did you get the Chinya guy? No. No. I don't like that kit well enough to get the Black Cat variant of it. No. No Chinya guy for me. Any idea about Bandai One Piece kits? Never built any Bandai One Piece kits. Not a fan of One Piece. Just never watched it, never read it, never been interested in it. I recently got my first Gundam and it was amazing. It was so fun to put together. Yes. It's always good to hear and seems to be the general consensus from people who build their first kit. Fun and impressed with the results, I think, is usually what people generally tend to say about their first experience. Gonna have some of that beautiful white stress here in this dark blue plastic that people love so much. Just gonna require a little bit of sanding, which there'll be plenty time for later. For now though, ain't nobody got time for that. We're just snapping away. And that goes on here. And this one here. Here. This guy on here. There. And this guy here. There. Why is that like that? Watching the MegaSize stream, talking to my guy in Japan. See. Oh. Oh. Thank you, Alex. Just got a message there from Alex, who's maybe going to help me out with the Destiny Blanche. That'd be awesome, man. Let me know. Much appreciated. That in there, and this one here. Right? No. Huh? Yes. But wait. Huh? Wait. Huh? What? Huh? What? Oh, that's the wrong part. Shoot. I cut out the wrong parts. Okay. So that's why that didn't want to fit on there. Cut out the part that goes on top of the ankle armor rather than the part that goes on top of the foot. Star winning custom, please. I won't. I posted about this on my Facebook page as well. I won't be getting the star winning Gundam. That is the name of that new one, right? I forget. I think that's right. I won't be getting that kit. I don't. It just looks so uninteresting to me. I don't even really want to waste my time building and reviewing that kit. So sorry. I'm sure there'll be other YouTube reviewers who will review that kit perfectly well for you guys. It really looks like one of those kits that I also skipped the Impulse Gundam, if you guys noticed, or maybe didn't notice that I didn't get the Impulse Gundam as well. Star Winning and the Impulse Gundam both look like the kind of kits that they're both based on kits that are really nice. Like the Impulse is based on the Revive Impulse Gundam, which is a nice kit. The Star Winning actually is, I don't think is actually based on a different kit, but it looks like it's at least using some joint parts from like the Build Burning and other ones, which is a solid kit, solid joints and stuff. So, I mean, you know what to expect with those, right? So you really don't need my 2 cents for those. If you like the way it looks, then just get it. I'm sure they're both perfectly fine kits. Is that right? No, wait. Shh. Guess that's right. Should be up like that. Looks kind of goofy, but I guess that's right. Not like that. Should be like that. Okay. There's the foot. Don't really have a HG kit on hand to compare that, but we'll do some comparisons later. Anyway, moving on to the legs. This step doesn't say ×2, so we'll work one at a time. Love your Gundam book video, question mark. I love my Gundam book video as well. Are you asking me or are you telling me? Well, there's a question mark there, so I'm a little bit confused. Will you live stream on Twitch TV in the future? People have asked me to, and I've highly considered it. But just between like work and being a father and everything, I feel like if I'm gonna like really get into streaming on Twitch and everything, I need to have like some sort of consistency is like in when I can stream. But it's really just a matter of just streaming whenever I can, which is just kind of random. The other thing is that streaming, I think, works best for like this, snapping kits, which is usually what I do at my office at work. I usually just am snapping kits just in my downtime at my office. So usually when I'm at home working, I'm usually more working on like videos where I can't exactly live stream to you guys whilst making a video, or painting, and at which point I'm wearing a mask, so I can't really talk while wearing a mask. So that's why live streaming at home just isn't quite as simple, or it's just kind of harder to do. I don't know, you guys get what I mean, right? So if I get to the point where I can live stream more and more regularly, or yeah, then I'll probably look more into Twitch. But for now, not really looking that much into it. Is there any good English Gundam book? Not many, but I've got one actually that should be coming on the way soon, which I'll do a video for you guys soon. That's by US, who just recently finished a book. So I'll be going over that book when I get that in. sharing that with you guys. What's the version of the Exceed Zaku head that you got from Alex? Not gonna tell you. You gotta wait for the review. That video will come tomorrow after the China guy review. That's very astute of you to know that I was getting that Zaku head from Alex. Okay, that runner is stuck to the other one, so 10 and 11. These guys here. And 5. I like that for the first time ever, this part of the unicorn doesn't have a mold line on it. And that would be this part. This is the front of the leg that holds that little bit of armor that, like, in unicorn mode it's on top of the foot, and then in destroy mode it like folds up to like the bottom of the shin. And that little gray part that holds onto that, and like every single other version of the unicorn, there's a really annoying mold line. It's easy enough to just sand it, but it's just kind of annoying straight down the middle of that. This one actually doesn't have that mold line for once, so that's nice. Again, it's a small thing, but will you be building the Digimon reboot Omegamon? No, I'm just not really into Digimon at all. Like 0%. I have a little bit of nostalgia because I watched the cartoon show like when that was first on, like the original series, I guess, as far as I know. But just don't really. I've never been into Digimon much. It was always Pokemon for me. Pokemon only. Never got into Digimon. Never got into Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic cards, any other kind of card games at all. Nothing. But I do, for whatever reason. Well, I know the reason, because he's an entertaining guy. But if you guys know on YouTube, Boogie2988, he does mostly like gaming videos and just kind of like addressing internet things. He's kind of like a mix of other notable YouTubers. But anyway, Boogie2988 also sometimes does like Magic the Gathering unboxing videos. Like, I guess when there's like new Magic card sets come out, he does like unboxing videos and like goes through them. Those are really entertaining to me for some reason, even though I'm like not interested in Magic cards at all. I think it's just because he's just an entertaining person to watch. He's a really he has a really good personality, and so he's just a fun person to watch. I'm sure I've mentioned that before. I've talked about liking his videos before in other videos of mine. I don't watch his videos like every day, but I do watch them occasionally. It's one notable YouTuber that I would know as one of my favorites. Good Mythical More is another one of my favorite channels, which I kind of go on and off of. I'll enjoy watching it for like a month, and then I'll get a little bit tired of it, and then I won't watch it for a while, and then I'll go back to it again later. You should try. Did you try the Nazca paint? Yeah, I don't use Nazca paint very often because it is so limited. I'm kind of like scared to use it and then not be able to get any more. But I really shouldn't. I mean, like, I try as much as I can to be of the philosophy that things are meant to be used. I really don't like, one thing that I really don't like about myself is some things like that. I tend to want to keep things, especially if they're things that are like hard to get or like unique in some way. But you know, things are meant to be used, so you're just supposed to just use it and enjoy it. So like with Nazca paints, I don't use them that often. And I think one reason is because I'm worried about the availability of them. They're kind of like limited, kind of special in a way. But they're really nice paints anyway. They're super smooth. They're really buttery. Really like them a lot. They go down really nicely and look really good. Colors are really nice too, of course. That's kind of like the whole point, is you get these nice special colors. Yeah, they're really good. Any of like Gaia paints just in general are really good, I think. I tend to use Mr. Color more than Gaia. But that's another reason for that is that Mr. Color is cheaper. So buying replacement bottles of Mr. Color is cheaper than replacing bottles of Gaia. But it's really not that much different here in Korea, especially. If you're living in another country, it might be a big difference, but I don't know. But Gaia paints in general are really nice. Their Mecha We Go line of paints is also really good as well. Really cool colors. I recently saw someone just sent me photos of because I've reviewed a couple of Gundam Hobby Life magazines, and someone sent me some photos of a Gundam Hobby Life. I think it was issue 10, I think it was, and in that there was a build of like an Origins kit, like a Origin Master Grade Origin Gundam, and it was painted all in Megatro We Go paints, so it's like really cool colored. It was really interesting. Oh, I need some of those thruster bells as well, or one of them anyway. Like the way that Gaia bottles look more than Mr. Color. Yeah, Gaia bottles look nicer than Mr. Color bottles too. Yeah. That's what you're paying for. It's like buying an iPhone, right? You're paying for just like the stylish look of it. That's the thing with Gaia too. They just charge you more because it's got those style points. No, but they're attractive looking for sure. Will you be building any of the Macross Delta kits? No. Macross is another series that I've just never really gotten into. Not for any particular reason. It's not like I watched it and didn't like it. I've just never really taken the time to really watch much of any of it. I don't really watch much anime, to be honest. 13 is here. Okay. I know there's a lot of things. There's a lot of Macross in the world that exists that is not just anime, I suppose, but that there and this thing here. That's a big fat tree trunk of a leg. And then cycle frame. This sounded like something like Conan. Cycle frame. That guy there, and this guy here. And this one on here. And then polycap in there. No, in there. Polycap there. And this one here. And go in there. And this here. Can I cheat? Skip ahead. I don't know if this is actually skipping ahead, but I'm at the end of the page and not doing that. Whoa, it was blown out. You guys can't see that at all. There we go. Now it's a little bit dark, but at least you can see that better. It's not just a big, bright beam of light in your face. Okay. I miss your video intro and outros. Yeah, when I changed that, I didn't think anyone would care. I think I expected people to be more like glad that they didn't have to watch my intro every time. But I actually had a lot of people saying like that they're gonna miss my old intro. Even my mom like sent me a message and was like, You need to keep an intro. You can't just not have an intro. I was like, okay. So I don't know. I may go back to using an intro in the future if I come up with a good idea for one. But I just assumed that people would like not having to sit through 10 or 15 seconds of some same intro on every single video. That seems boring to me. Some people. Intro had sweet music. I like the swing set outro. Yeah, I really liked outro, and I like that. That's pretty much what I've heard from everyone. All you guys seem to like my outro. My new outro is pretty well, which is cool. Oh, awesome. Oh, hell yeah. Yes. Alex, you're awesome, man. Thank you so much. Different Alex, not Alex, which you guys probably are more well of a different Alex. Both of them are awesome. I'm very blessed to have two very awesome friends named Alex. I had a really good friend named Alex in high school as well, too. But I'm not really in touch with him anymore, unfortunately. Really good guy. Awesome guy. Spikes was his nickname. That we, I'm sure he didn't like that nickname at all. We called him Spikes because he like would like have his hair all like spiked up. And so I think he probably didn't like it because we were obviously taking the piss. But yeah, I miss Spikes, man. From like high school and all that. I mean, there's and just like my hometown, there's some people I miss and some people not really all that much. But he's definitely one of those people I would love to hang out with again. 14, 17, which is where here. It's 14, 17, 11, and 19. 11 is here, kind of hard to see. 11 and 19. It's interesting, for the thigh, there's actually no cycle frame inside the part. It's like you have your two main parts of the thigh are just like in white, and then you have like these little bits of cycle frame that you put on like around the outside of that to make it look like there's cycle frame inside. It's interesting. This kit is actually quite different from any other version of the unicorn kits. Like I said in the unbox, like whilst filming the unboxing video, you guys will see that whenever I post that video. But one thing that I can notice about this kit is that it's much different from other versions of the unicorn, where like other versions all have some similar things. Like even the RG has some sections of it that are really similar to other versions, like the master grade or more so the perfect grade. But this one is quite different. F2 and 13. 2 would be this guy. For the knee, I'm sure we're going to need this one as well. Where's that? There we go. 2. I know like the manual says that you're supposed to be able to build this without tools, that you can just like break the parts off of the runner. But some of these gates are pretty big. You'd do some serious damage. You'd have to do some serious damage. to these parts by just breaking these off the runners. Some of these gates are quite sizable, so I wouldn't recommend building this without the proper tools. D5 and 8. 5, 8 is this one here. Oh, no. A and E. E is here, E4. And A3. Is here. And C and J. J5. It's one of these guys. And C. It'll be one of these. Those and these. Yes. Okay. So I think that's all the parts that we need for the little, at least finishing this one leg. So let's get cracking on these, finish up this leg, and then we'll move on to the next leg. That's some huge feet. Yeah. Got a little something there. Zach, do you watch Dragon Ball Super? No, I don't. As much as I love Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z as well, but not as much as the original Dragon Ball. I have not watched Dragon Ball Super, but many people have told me that it is quite good, which is nice because I watched like a couple episodes of Dragon Ball GT and just wasn't really impressed. Just from the very little I saw, I really should have given it more of a chance than like an episode and a half. But like I said, I just don't really watch anime or like any TV shows really in general. Sometimes when I'm building or just working on something, I'll like have a movie playing in the background. And sometimes I'll like watch a movie with my wife. But just really don't. Of course I have the time, but I really take the time to watch stuff. Especially if it's stuff that is in like anime that would require me to read subtitles. If I can't multitask while doing something, then probably not going to do it. I need to be able to do something at the same time, and if I need to read the subtitles, then it's just not making the cut. Though I do love like probably some of my favorite films are like Japanese and Korean like indie films. I did watch one with my wife not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, and it was the first time in a long time, and I kind of remembered how much I love those. They're so good. So a lot of different examples, like Kiyoshi Kurosawa would be like a great place to start. Look up like the films of Kiyoshi Kurosawa, not Akira Kurosawa, who is much well known as a very famous and probably one of the most famous Japanese directors of all time. But Kiyoshi Kurosawa, also good. Who's Master Ripe? Okay, that's weird. I haven't seen Alex in the chat there. Is he? Alex Dedoof. He must be busy. I just saw him earlier today, though. Had lunch with him. We do both live in Korea, but we don't live in the same city. We live about an hour away from each other. So we don't see each other too often. But we have seen each other 2 Saturdays in a row. We hung out last weekend, last Saturday, and exchanged kits for giveaways. He gave me the Power GM kit for my contest. A kit, I don't know, maybe I should not say to keep the surprise. But I gave him a kit for a contest giveaway that he's planning on doing, I suppose, as well. So I don't know if I should keep the surprise, so I mean, I guess I won't tell you guys, but right now, that's all you need to know. And then today we exchanged presents as well. He gave me an Exceed model Zaku head, and I gave him my Mechatro We Go kits that I recently painted up. I did a video on those. I had been meaning to give him like something like a painted build of mine for a while, and I really liked those Mechatro We Go kits. Actually, I was planning on selling those Mechatro We Go kits that I painted up. I was planning on selling them, but I actually kind of like really liked them a lot, so I kind of wanted to keep them. But I thought, oh, I've been waiting to give something to Alex, and so I want to give these to Alex. That way, he can enjoy them, and I know they'll like still be around. Sort of like I can see them later if I want to. I definitely liked the blue one a lot more than the pink one, because I made the blue one first and then I made the pink one second, and I think that the first one came out better. But I think they made a pretty cool set. Those kits are fun to work on. I almost ordered another set, because I don't know if you guys saw this, but yeah. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Hobby Link Japan just started like their autumn sale. When I saw that announced, I was like, oh no, because like really don't want to spend any more money on like any more new kits or anything like that at the moment, because I already just ordered a few things from Hobby Link Japan. And I saw they announced their autumn sale. I was like, oh no, 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 please. But then like as I was looking through the stuff they have in the sale, there's like nothing interesting at all. It's like the weakest sale I've ever seen from them. There's probably stuff that's interesting to some people, but for me, there was just like nothing. So not one single thing in the sale that I could find that I wanted to buy. So lucked out there. Good for me. But if there was anyone that was like actually really excited about the sale, looking forward to getting some stuff at a good price, I think I'll be pretty disappointed. I think as far as like Gundam kits, like the only Gundam kits they had, I think it's like the Origin WAF, and the Assault Unit G-Self, the G-Self that comes with that big Assault pack. And then other than that, like all the other Gunpla kits that they had in the sale were all like SD kits and like old, like bunk SD kits. Getting an SD Yakudoga and doing like the SD XHG thing, giving the SD Yakudoga head onto the HG and doing that. But that SD is so old. That's like the third SD kit in like the SDG. What is it? G something, but passed on that anyway. This is going on onto here first, like so, and then this one is going onto here, and then we need Alex Ilam. If you're watching this live at the moment, I see your email. I'll send you my address here in just a minute. I'm not sure if you're watching actually live or not, but just in case you are. So again, if you guys have questions, I know I'm not looking at the chat that much, which it's good that you guys are. Oh, okay, you are in there. Okay. Alex, I always forget that your like YouTube name is Fuzzy Hawk Down. I always forget that, and like then I'll like suddenly remember it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's Alex. But anyway, yeah, I'll send you my address here in just a minute. Anyway, yeah, like I said, I'm trying to get as much of this done as I can, so I'm not looking at the chat as much this time, guys. So sorry about that. It's good, but I've seen that you guys are going pretty well in the chat, so it seems like you're pretty busy just talking amongst yourselves, which is good. So, but if you do, again, if you guys are joining late or whatever, if you do want to ask any question to me or something, just put your question in all caps so I can see it easily. I'm not actually sure why I picked this name. It's a fine name. I just always forget that it's you. I mean, most people's names probably has nothing to do with like their YouTube name probably has nothing to do with their real name in most cases. Mine is only like vaguely related. Okay, that one in here. That one in there. These have a front and a back. I want to make sure I don't put this in backwards. It's kind of hard to see. Okay, I guess that's right. Right, tight, fit there. And then the thumb goes here, like that, and the thumb goes here, like that. And then a little snippety. Put these sucker frame parts in here. And thighs. So here's what I'm talking about. Like the thigh is just two pieces of white, and you have a little bit of like frame in there as well. So then you actually just put the little pieces of psycho frame in around the outside of there. It's kind of interesting. Interesting way to do that. And that goes this way, and then this guy on here. And oh, I forgot to finish this step. One like that, and this one like that, and that into here, and this into there, and one leg is done. Look how big that is. It's absolutely huge. It's the biggest leg you've ever seen. It's a big, beautiful leg. There you go. It's like a little ukulele leg here. That's really, really big. Whoa. Let's check the articulation though. Oh, not quite 90 degrees there at the knee. So not going to be super posable. How about the ankle? Woo! It's not going to rotate that much. All right. Hey. Whew, this thing is going to be very large. Zach Mobile Suit Moon Gundam? I don't know what that is. Is that a new thing? Thick leg. It's not thick, but I mean, it's long. It's big. It's a big old leg. Okay. Been going about an hour and a half here so far, and I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this kit in one live stream, unfortunately. Was really hoping to. But we got off to a little bit of a slow start there. Been plugging away. But might have to finish this up tomorrow. I need another one of these. Better do this too while we're here. Do you think, what do you think of the MG Shinanju Stein Verka? I got that kit. I have that kit. I have the Shinanju Stein Verka, and I haven't built it yet, but by all accounts, it is a really nice kit, and it's a really, really great base for customizing. There's a lot of really great custom builds out there using the Shinanju Stein as a base. Tim is currently doing that. Child of Mecha is currently using that as a base for his Ozymandias build. I got some other stuff to send you also. Just a final measurement of the MegaSize and Asahi Tricans. Yeah, Alex, I appreciate the offer, but I probably have a few extra Asahi cans I can use to measure this height. So far, the height of the leg, it's about one Asahi 500 milliliter can doesn't even come up to the knee. So it's probably going to be like two will be like up to the waist, one more probably. So probably about three 500 milliliter cans in height or more. But let me send you my address here. Hang on just a second. Down address is right. Sir Zach, thank you for the autographed Mega Shiki. Yeah, you're welcome. That was more about a year ago almost. Yeah. Will you ever enter GBWC? I have an idea for entering GBWC that I really like. Matter of doing that. How much was the kit? This kit retails for 10,000 yen. Most hated kit. Really didn't like the Scramble Gundam. In recent memory, I really didn't like building the Scramble Gundam. It just was not a enjoyable kit to build. It just like felt so cheap and lazy building that. Did you finish your Grimgird custom? Yeah. Do you ever come back to the States? Yeah, I'm actually coming back to the States at the end of this month. Visiting home. I did finish the Grimgird. It's done, but I'm not done with the base for it. I'm just doing a little bit of a base for that, so that's pretty much almost done. I was actually planning on finishing that tonight, but this guy arrived. Is just for your friends. Sent. All right, Alex. Thank you, man. Zach, check Messenger. Okay, if I have to. Don't really want to, but I will. Have the Banshee Norn. I sent something, so I have. Sorry, Rick. You know what I really hate is when you're cutting off a part. I say if I'm cutting off a part and it has 3 gates, cut off the first 2 gates, and then the third gate, I'm like I have to turn it like that, and the third gate, it just kind of like falls off, but then it damages the part by like just twisting off on its own, when like it would have been better to just cut it, but it just kind of falls off. I don't know if that makes sense, but if you guys get what I mean. It's kind of like twists off the runner on its own and damages the part. Annoying. It's like, no, if you would have just waited 2 seconds, I would have cut you nicely. But it's probably more just do cutting stuff out in a hurry. And here, 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 and here. Zach, are you going to get more Figureize standard DBZ kits, and are you going to paint Android 18? I do plan on painting Android 18 at some point. I don't know when. Because what I would like to do with Android 18 is go in and like basically make it fixed pose, fill in some of the gaps that make it look not like a organic thing. I know it is supposed to be an Android, but it's not supposed to have like big gaps in it. So that's what I plan to do on that cat. But anyway, I have no plans to get any of the other Figureize Dragon Ball Z kits that are out currently. I think I said this in the review when I reviewed that kit. If they make another one that looks like something that I really want, then I'll consider it. But right now, no. Haven't seen anything else in that line that I really want. Fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know. I'm kind of fine with it. I have plenty of other things to work on. And to be honest, I didn't really enjoy the Android 18 all that much. It was interesting, but I think I'll just prefer to stick to giant robots. Alrighty, I think that's all we need for this leg. Zach, I sent you a message. My name is Raymond. Yes, please, just a moment. I'll look at the messages. I can't watch your video whilst I'm live streaming now, so I'll watch your video later. Thanks for sending that to me, but yeah, I'll watch it later. What are the Patika 00 kits with placards supposed to be? Bandai's attempts to do something to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of 00. But I think they've still got something up their sleeve for this year. We still don't know what the big December kit's going to be. I think it's going to be a master grade GN arms. No, don't think so, but that would be big. Hang on, I've got some ideas of what it might be. Hang on. Wait. All right. Zach, when are you going to have G-Check again? This month, actually. Next weekend, right? Next weekend. G-Check will return. Josh needed time to finish his Zeta for GBWC Australia, so we haven't done G-Check for a couple months because of that. That will be back. Also, my builders interviews series, I want to bring that back as well, but who should I interview for that? I had an interview that just kind of fell through. And I haven't had any good idea of like someone that I was like really keen to have on. There's plenty of people that I could have on, but I don't know. Open to suggestions. Send Bob and what? I don't know what you guys are talking about. I bet if they made a MegaSize red frame, you could actually use the sword as a weapon. Yeah, it'd be like a dagger. Even the perfect grade one is pretty impressive. Can you interview me someday? I don't know. Do you like playing basketball? No. Never really been into playing basketball. These leg. I suppose I probably should have done like what HLJ does and only built one leg, just at least so you guys could see it, and then move on to like a different part, build one of the arms or something to be more interesting. So you guys don't have to see me just building the same thing twice with the legs, but guess I'm just not as smart as the creative team behind Hobbylink TV. I do have to say one thing that I will say about Hobbylink TV. I'm so glad that they changed their intro, the intro that they were using before, which I guess I heard someone say that like the music was done by like Sid's cousin or something like that. Oh, that music was so bad. It was so terrible. I really didn't like that. I mean, that's cool that like his cousin made it or something, but man, that was some bad music. He's like, please do a size comparison with other huge kits after you finish this kit. Yeah, I will. I actually don't have a perfect grade unicorn snapped at the moment. so I can't compare that. But I'll compare it to the perfect grade Banshee Norn and a couple of other big like MG kits, I suppose. I don't know. You probably only need like one size comparison. Size comparisons in a review video, to me, it's kind of right up there with articulation. For me, when I'm watching a review video, it's something I really don't really care that much to see. Because if you're wondering about the size of what a kit is, it's all a matter of doing very simple math. You go to like, okay, this is 1/48 scale. Let's talk about just this kit, for example. 1/48 scale, you go to the Gundam Wiki page if you don't know the size of the unicorn, like in the anime, like in real life, in the anime. And check the unicorn's height. I think in destroy mode, if I remember correctly, it's like 23 meters or something. Maybe 23 and a half or whatever. But so you take that, and this is 1/48 scale, so you divide by 48 or times, yeah, right? Divide by 48, right? Anyway, is that right? No, it's so simple, but I don't know how to do it. But yeah, 1/48 of 23 meters. And that is how you can know the height of what this kit is going to be. Now, obviously, Bandai doesn't always make kits exactly to that size. Like, for example, the HG and the real grade unicorn are different in height, and they're both supposed to be the same scale, 1/48 or 1/144 scale. So there are instances where that is not always exactly true. I think like the wing kits and crossbone kits and like F91, because those are a little bit smaller, I think those are also a little bit larger than what they're actually supposed to be at that scale, if I remember correctly. But it's like a tiny amount. It's not that much different. I think. Don't quote me on that. I have to actually check it, but I think I remember someone mentioning that to me before at one point. Zach is a math wizard. Yeah, math is definitely something I'm definitely not a wizard of. I stopped studying math in junior year of high school. In my high school, I think only required for graduation. I think they required 3 years of math or 3.5. You know, I know at least for the last semester of high school, I didn't study any math. I was like, man, I'm really done with math. And then in university, I studied, so any more math there? Thank God. It's also 1:20 a.m., so my brain's not working. It's late. My brain's not working when it's late. That's really annoying when people say stuff like that. Zach, do you like science? Yeah, I mean, I love watching like Neil deGrasse Tyson videos on YouTube, but like I don't read or like science books or study science like on my own. I do read philosophy books though on my own. I guess you can kind of call that studying. It's basically studying, right? Oh, for the next MegaSize. I was really surprised that the MegaSize line came back. I was sure the MegaSize line was just done. So when we got the announcement of this unicorn, I was really blown away. So what does the future hold for the MegaSize line? We'll just have to see. like I mentioned before, I'm pretty sure it's a really high chance that we're going to be seeing a but uh, after that, I mean, what else could they make? A MegaSize crossbone? It'd be really cool if later, like after 2 years or something, the 1/1 scale unicorn in Odaiba, if they just changed it to a Banshee, just change off the collar and the parts on the head, and then just repaint it to make it a 1/1 scale Banshee, that'd be pretty awesome. I'd be hyped. How much do MegaSize cost? This MegaSize list price is 10,000 yen, so like $100. Other ones, I believe, were 9,000 yen, a little bit cheaper. I don't know exactly. You can always find all that information on Dalong or plenty of other websites, I'm sure. I actually had a cool idea for like a interesting paint scheme for Unicorn, and I was planning on doing that on a perfect grade kit. But I think this would be a really good opportunity for trying something kind of a little bit unique for an interesting paint scheme for a Unicorn. The thing is that just these MegaSize kits take so long to paint just because they're so big. I mean, going through the process of priming and pre-shading and painting on these kits is just an incredible amount of time compared to like an HG or even like your standard like basic MG kit. They take quite a while. I need my little hand vacuum in here. I'm like drowning in nub dust. Oh boy. I really need to be sure to brush all this off me before I go get into bed. I've gotten in trouble on more than one occasion for dragging like little plastic bits into the bed, and then my wife, like when she's making the bed or something at some point, like finding all these little bits of plastic everywhere and like not too happy. Just like, honey, plastic is my life. Have to live and breathe plastic. They just don't get it, do they? Hey, Zach, are you ever going to try out the Gundam versus beta? No, I ain't. Ain't gonna do that. That polycap looks really loose in there, and it makes me think that it's not correct for some reason, but... Oh, because I put it in the wrong side, but okay, that's fine. Shoo. Close. Closed. There we go. We're closed. Ah. And excuse me. Oh. This here. And oh, forgot to cut out that part. Of course. The psycho frame fin flap out the back. Pencil! Damn cat. I have 2 cats, and they're both boys. I'm pretty sure they do gay shit, like at night. They make some weird sounds, and like I've caught them like go out to check on them, and the one is like standing on top of the other one. It's really fishy. It's like I'll just hear them like going at, so especially one be like, "Row, row, 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 row." Not quite that fast, but it's weird. And then go out there and he's like caught in the act and runs away. Bloop, bloop, bloop. They gay. I think they might be gay, but the thing is that like they're like brothers. They're not. They're totally not brothers, but they've been raised and grown up together since they were like since they were like a month, 2 months old. They've been together like probably since they were about 2 months old. Oh shit, I forgot those parts too. Damn. So yeah, they're basically brothers, but I'm pretty sure they're like boyfriends too. It's weird. They're weird. They're both neutered too, so I don't know. Oh yeah, that one too. Forgot a lot of pieces. But the runners in the box are already starting to thin down. That guy there. Can check messenger, please? Ricardo Arcos wants me to check messenger. There in the chat, Ricardo. Okay, you want me to see your Zuda? Yep, that's a Zuda. I see it. It's missing a hand, it looks like. Or am I seeing that wrong? Also missing a foot, it looks like. Did your dog eat your kid or something? At least nobody's gonna get pregnant. Yeah. Don't want a little household baby kittens running around. My wife's mom already like can't wait for the cats to just die. She doesn't like them at all. It's not that like she doesn't like them, but like I mean cats are just kind of I don't want to say messy because cats really aren't that messy, but they do obviously have cat hairs around. And my cats, especially one of them, especially Pencil, just has this bad habit of like he'll occasionally just like pee on the floor, just like right in front of the litter box, which is really annoying. So anytime we mention to like my wife's mom, like, oh, I had to clean up his pee on the floor, she like can't wait for them to just die. Korean people, especially like older Korean people, don't really have the same idea of pets as many people in the modern world do. The idea of keeping animals just as pets is relatively new. in Korea. I mean, so people in that generation just didn't grow up with that. I'm sure some other countries out there you guys can probably really. I forgot the cycle frame for the knees too. Damn. So I was just really not paying attention or whatever. Just when you thought you had all the pieces all ready to go. You should love stream your cats. I suppose you mean live stream my cats, not love stream. But I don't really feel like going to get them. One of them spends most of his existence hiding underneath our sofa. And he just doesn't really like attention. Have you ever stepped on a Lego? I'm sure I have at some point in time. Have you ever seen those frame arm girls kits? No, I've never seen a frame arms girls kit. What's that? Never even heard of it. Just kidding. Obviously, yes, I've heard of frame arms girls kits, and I've got no plans to buy any of them at any point. I would like to try one. They're a bit pricey though. So that's the only reason why I haven't yet tried one. This thing looks like some weird thing, some space age thing you'd like see from like a 1960s sci-fi movie. You see him like walking around with some like telecommunicator. Hello, Captain. Yarn. And I have big hands too, and this thing is huge. All right. Out of my way, please, over there. Okay. Then that part, I needed to double that, eh? Will you do an unboxing of the Mechanicore Ziegler? Yes, I will. And then never build it. And then people will ask me forever into eternity, when are you going to build the Mechanicore Ziegler kit? How is it coming on that Mechanicore Xeon kit? Have you started painting that Mechanicore Xeon kit yet? Like, man, you don't see me like uploading videos every day. And when did you think in that time I had time to build some huge gigantic kit and you guys didn't know about it? Like, you guys see videos from me every day. You know what I'm working on. Mostly. Some stuff I don't really share that much, but generally you guys should have a pretty good idea of what I'm working on and not working on. I think the pink is too light. It should have something behind or a little darker. Yeah. Some parts of this, the cycle frame doesn't look that great. I think definitely doing some like painting in there will probably be a good idea. Yeah, I agree. Oh. Just when you think, okay, I'm done. And oh wait, need a couple more polycaps. Have you built any Warhammer kits? They're pretty damn expensive. No, I never have built any Warhammer anything. I don't really get it. It's a tabletop game, but it's also like a model hobby. But they're also really expensive. But I don't know. It's just kind of weird, but there's 2 legs. It's so done. And all the details on the outside of the armor looks great, but anywhere where you can see the underside of the armor, very underwhelming. Because there's nothing underneath. Just Baron. Roger Baron. All right, let's get through the waist, and then we'll call it an evening. Shoom, shoom, shoom. Just a samurai slicing away. Yeah. Samurais don't slice with tiny nippers. I realize that. Have you broken a kit from pure rage and might find it doing gay shit? I don't know about the gay shit part. That's kind of... But I've never broken a kit out of pure rage. No. I don't even think I've ever broken a part out of pure rage. I've broken parts, I suppose, probably, and not that I can remember, but I probably have broken parts just like in rage. Like some part is like not fitting together, and I'm like really pissed and like just really like trying to force it, and it ends up breaking. I'm sure that's probably happened before, but that wasn't like I was intentionally trying to break it. It was that I was just trying to make it fit, and it just wasn't cooperating. And I was enraged at the time. Yeah. Thoughts on MG F91 2.0? I'm not really that big of a fan of the F91. I've heard that the MG is pretty nice. Oh. Oh, hell. Have you ever got a hard-on for a certain kit? Why are you guys even asking me stuff like that? I don't know if that question is meant to be literal or not, but if it's meant to be literal, then no, obviously not. If it's just meant to mean have I ever been like really excited about a kit that's announced, then yeah, obviously. I was pretty well excited for this kit, even though like yeah, it's just another unicorn, but just because of like again like what it means that the MegaSize line is not dead, which is, if nothing else, is interesting. Forgot about these parts. Back to the A runner. Back to the... Whoa! Where are you going? Whoa! Sorry if that's like really noisy for you guys. What's the most excited you've ever been for a kit? That's a good question. The most excited I've ever been for a kit. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I was excited to get the PG Phoenix, but by the fact that I haven't built that kit yet, should tell you something that like I obviously wasn't excited enough to just like build it as soon as it arrived. But a kit like that, I mean, I don't think I can be much at fault for the fact that I haven't built it yet, because it's a beast of a kit. But I was certainly really excited to get it, which I think was probably visible if you watched my Facebook video when I got it, because I posted like a Facebook video I did a live Facebook stream when I got it of just me like opening up the box. So I didn't want to do like a whole like delivery video just for that, but that's Yawning H 3 and 4. Are real grades tough to build? No. Really not any tougher than anything else. Real grades can be a little bit trickier just because you're dealing with smaller parts kind of crammed into a smaller space. But generally, no, real grades are not anything that you should think like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. If you build anything before, you can build a real grade. You'll be fine. It's not that complicated. I would probably stay away from the real grade Zeta, but any of the other real grades probably be okay, I suppose. How far are we in? I left for about an hour. Yeah, we're not that far, unfortunately. Not as far as I would have liked. I was thinking I could maybe get this done in about a 2-hour stream, but that was a foolish idea. It's just a lot of kit. I don't want to. I already made fun of HobbyLink Japan's or HobbyLink TV's music earlier in this stream, so I kind of don't want to give them a hard time twice in one video. But I will say I don't really care too much for their live stream building videos, because it's cool because they get the kits like straight away, and they can do like a video like this of the new kits, and everyone's always excited to see that. But of like trying to finish a kit at like lightning speed as they do, I think it just kind of gives the wrong idea about like, hey, you can finish building this huge kit in just 2 hours. Like, that's not really the impression that I want to give to people, because I believe that you should take your time with the kits. Like, I'm trying to go through this fast, but I'm at least still taking some time, like, to clean up the nubs a little bit. I mean, like, and that's just like minimal work, just so at least the kit is presentable, just for the review. If I were to paint, if I were like to wanting to be painting the kit, I would probably be like done with the feet at this point, just because I'd be doing a lot more sanding and everything. But just because at the moment I'm really only just worried about just making it look nice just for the review. But still, even at a minimum, like this is like the fastest speed that I'll go. But I'm still taking the time to like just make it look nice. And I wouldn't say that like I would never say the amount of time it takes to build a kit as a positive point about the kit. I just don't like that question in general. People ask, how long did it take you to build this kit? I just don't like that question at all. Because that's really not what, like, if you're enjoying your hobby, like, let's say your hobby is fishing, no one asks you, like, how long did it take you to catch that fish? Like, it's not really the point. It just seems like you're kind of misunderstanding the point of the hobby. If you're paying money for something, you think you kind of want to like maximize it. And I mean, some people are just fine with not some, a lot of people are just fine with just snapping kits and like not doing like very minimal work, and that's perfectly fine. But what I mean is like just the time, even if that's all you're doing, just snapping the kit, still just take your time and enjoy it. It's something you paid for. Why are you be like a rush? It's like going to the movie theater and you pay like your $10-15 to watch the movie, and then you want to see just like a 10-minute summary of the movie. What would be the point of that? You want to enjoy as much as you can of what you paid for, right? So just take your time. Then again, on the other hand, some people take an ungodly amount of time to just snap a kit. I can't really understand that. It's on the other end of it. People have told me that it took them like 2 weeks to snap an HG. That's pretty insane. Opposite end of the spectrum. Again, if I'm getting a kit like snapping and at the same time like doing all the sanding and everything required to get it ready for paint, and that's one thing. But yeah. So getting back to your chat there in the question, Zach, do you love the Barbatos Lupus or Astaroth Rinascimento? Don't really love either of those designs, really. I don't know if you're asking me if I like those designs in general, or if you're asking me an either or question. If I had to choose between one, I guess probably the Barbatos Lupus. But they're both kind of even for me, and they're neither of them are really my favorite Gundam designs from IBO. Yeah. I think the trickiest part of real grades is when building the head, the inner parts. Yeah. Those tiny parts, especially in the head, can be very tiny, especially on the gold frame. On the gold frame in Matsumiya, it had some super tiny parts there, really intricate parts for the head. So I really had to be a little bit careful with that one. But as our good friend over at Bluefin, Xavier, would say, at least they got the vents on the face correct for that kit. I know he appreciates that. So would you say that real grades are more delicate when building? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, just because of the very small size, and some parts can be very thin. You definitely, yeah, need to be a little bit more light-handed with real grade parts. Hi, Zach. Most expensive Gundam kits. Most expensive Gundam kits are generally perfect grade kits. Although the most expensive kit would either be the Dendrobium or Neo Zeon. I'm not exactly sure which one is actually more expensive. I think the Dendrobium is still more expensive, but those two kits happen to be both HGUC kits, interestingly. I think, as far as I know, if I had to guess, the most expensive kit that Bandai has sort of mass produced, though, would be the PG Phoenix, I guess. But there are plenty of other more expensive kits if you include non-Bandai kits. So when you get into like G-System and different resin kits, can be much more expensive. In that case, I think probably the most expensive kit out there would probably be the 1/35th scale XS Gundam. That giant, massive resin kit. I think that's 1/35th scale, right? The scale of that huge, ridiculous thing. That's just more than I would ever want. I can't imagine wanting that. What body spray do you use? I don't use any body spray. I use just some simple deodorant, like some type of Old Spice. Pretty simple when it comes to like body care products. As long as they don't smell bad or like look too terribly bad. Do I live in Pyongyang? Dude, are you drunk or what? What do you think the real builder needs to have? Nippers, I guess. What does a real builder mean? If you build something and you do exist in the world, then you, by definition, would be a real builder, I suppose. Half the thread is drunk. Okay, well, I hope so. That'd be fun. Hey, speaking of drinking, another YouTuber who I quite like these days. I mentioned this, I think, probably in the past couple live streams. Is PewDiePie. Never really was into PewDiePie for the longest time, but over the past few months, I've become a fan of at least his current content. And if you saw his most recent video, or like his recent video, today's or yesterday's video of whiskey. I've never really been that big into whiskey. Not really a fan of it, to be honest. But after watching PewDiePie's video about trying some different like Japanese whiskeys, I felt like I really want to try some like good whiskey. I still don't know if I would like it, but I want to try it. So fingers crossed, if I'm going to be in Japan in November, I'll try to pick up some nice Japanese whiskey while I'm there. And I'll give it a try. If I end up not liking it, I'll have to find a friend to give it to or something. Alex doesn't drink, so I can't give it to him. I have another friend who I know he likes whiskey, but I know he also doesn't really drink much these days either, so I don't know if he'd really be that into it either. I could give it to one of my Korean friends. I'm sure they'd like it. But Korean people tend to drink, especially something like whiskey, is something like they want to drink like at a bar. Don't think that many people really drink it that much, like just at home. It's probably not really all that common. Where in Japan, Sir Zach? You mean where am I going, like in November, or where am I hoping to go in November? Hoping to go to Tokyo. That's when the Gunpla Expo is there. I went there last year. So if you guys watched, like, last November, I went to the expo. I did a whole GoFundMe thing and caught a little bit of hate on that, but not too much. Raised almost double what I asked for, and ended up using all that money, all that extra money, to do a big giveaway, and gave away like a couple $100 worth of kits from Japan. It was a good time, and hoping to do the same thing again this year. Hopefully without the GoFundMe, but we'll talk more about that later. But yeah, look at this piece. Wow, the whole back skirt was live. There was a building with giant. I don't know what Ricardo's talking about there in the chat. Hey, wait, Charlie426, do drunk live stream. Zach, you should try it. I haven't seen that, but okay. Well, if I get some nice whiskey, I'll try that. I was talking to Alex about that when I met him today, and yeah, he recommended doing a video kind of similar to how we did the blind build video, but doing a drunk build video, where he would just kind of be there to make sure I didn't get hurt, just as support, and I would try building something drunk. I really don't think it'd be that different. I don't really tend to be that much different when I'm drunk, I think. Some people are like angry drunks, or some people get like really hilarious, just like really ridiculous. I don't really change that much, I think. It depends on my mood. It depends a lot on my mood and just like the situation. But generally speaking, not like a big transformation. Not like unicorn mode to destroy mode or anything. Zach, I heard my name. What happened? I wasn't paying attention. Oh, sorry, I was maybe talking about a different Ricardo. There's more than one Ricardo in the world, you know? Yeah. You guys cleared it up, or you're clearing it up there in the chat. Ricardo, Silver Maverick Ricardo. I don't know what you were talking about some giant panties on a building or something. But that sounds like Japan, so yeah. And with that, I think that's all the parts we need for the waist section. So we can do this damn thing. 4 polycap 4 and polycap 4 in here, and here, and here, and here, and here, here, and here, here, and here. Okay. And polycap 8 here, don't go away, and polycap 8, and this piece here for the front skirts. Guys in the chat are going nuts about some panty raid. I'll just ignore you guys for a few minutes till that settles out. Zach, you heading to the Gundam base on your trip to Japan? Of course, that would be a must, a staple of the trip. Not a staple, that's the wrong word. What do I mean? That would be necessary? That's not the right word either. I would definitely be going to the new Gundam base on my trip to Japan in November. If and when I can go. Where did those pieces go? Hiding, are ya? This one is gonna go like all that. Yes. And this one, like that. I love the fact that these little flaps here on the back skirt are fixed in there, because on every single transforming unicorn kit, whenever you're trying to move around the kit, you always inevitably push these flaps in, and then you have to remember to open them back up. Hey, model making guru, how's it going? We've not actually ever met or spoken, I think, if I remember correctly. I don't know if you've ever been hanging out in my live stream before, but I'm a fan of your videos. Yeah. Hey. If you guys don't watch Model Making Guru's channel, you really should, but hopefully you all do. Have you seen Mecha Gaikotsu's video about the Gundam base? Yeah, I watched that. Watched him zoom right past the custom builds. That was a little interesting. I don't know why you wouldn't give proper time to looking at those awesome custom builds that were on display there. But something for me to do when I go there, I suppose. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of stuff to cover, and maybe you don't want to make like a 40-minute video. But that's one thing that I'm definitely looking forward to seeing when going there, is the custom builds on display from past GBWC winners and other like Japanese celebrities and stuff. This playlist that I'm listening to, I thought it was done because like music wasn't playing for like a couple minutes. So I thought, oh, I need to queue up some new music, but then suddenly music started playing again. So I don't know what happened. I gotta say, this kit is really interesting to build just because it's quite different in its construction from any other unicorn kit. I mean, essentially you're still building the exact same thing, but it's interesting that it all goes together quite differently. I guess it's just because it's fixed destroy mode only. But still, it's quite different from the high grade. And the high grade kits are also just like only one mode. So the skirt is done, and this thing is more gigantic than even I was expecting. It's ridiculously huge. Unicorn is very leggy, so the legs are like the biggest part of it anyway. So, but still, I mean, just you can see just how huge this thing is. Yeah, that's large. Let me give you, here is a 1/44 scale kit. Dude, senpai, make a video of you tripping balls and building Gunpla. Uh, I don't really do drugs, and they're really hard to get here in Korea. Apparently, there's some drug that's like popular, like up in Seoul and like the club scene. I think like they call it ice. I don't know if it's really that similar to like meth. It sounds like basically what it is, but I've heard that for like young Korean people, it's who are like really into like clubbing and stuff up in Seoul, that's kind of gaining popularity. I really don't know too much about that, other than that. And as far as like any other drugs, really, there's basically like, I'm sure you can probably get other stuff, but really the only other thing that I think is like even remotely common is weed, and it's like really expensive and pretty shite quality. So drugs is not really a thing here in Korea. Yeah, ice is meth. Yeah, I don't know exactly how close it is. That, I mean, that's just the name here in Korea. It might be different. I don't know. Hmm. So, think I need to wrap up this stream. Uh, I really wanted to finish this kit, and I really want to continue to build it, but I probably need to go to sleep. It's now about 2:15. Uh, some people think that YouTubers who do the same thing are all enemies, but in truth, we most likely follow each other and learn from each other. Yeah, I think that's true for most of the Gunpla YouTuber community. Most of us all know each other at least vaguely, or respect each other. I don't. I can't think of anyone that I know of who are like enemies or like talk a lot of shit about each other on YouTube. So as I grab another beer and finish, I actually don't have another beer, unfortunately. Uh, um, yeah, Zorg said it's impressive that they're doing ice in clubs. If anything, they'd clamp down on it's that. Yeah, the police really don't know what drugs are here in Korea. I feel like there's probably like some like detectives and like higher up people who maybe have a general idea. But I feel like if I was walking down the street, like smoking a joint of weed, like walked past some police officers, they'd have no idea. They would just think I'm smoking a cigarette or something that smelled weird. They just don't really know. They've probably never seen it in their life, and it's just not a thing. So they just don't expect it at all. Um, Zeta Plamo asked, "Would you do a fan meetup in Japan?" I think that would be cool. Yeah. Usually, what ends up happening, and like the last couple times I've been to Japan, is that I'm just so busy while I'm there. I just haven't really been able to even like consider doing something like that, just because I'm usually like having a lot of things that I'm trying to get done in a very short amount of time. I'm usually there for like a couple days, and I want to try to like really maximize it, getting videos and stuff for you guys. So doing any sort of like meetup, it's kind of hard. Uh, Basically, any time that I have there to just kind of like just enjoy for myself, like just hanging out, is like at night, and that is when I'll just like that's when I just like skate around, just take my cruiser board, like skating around Akihabara, and then like going to the convenience store and buying a load of just like junk food and beers, and then like going back to the Airbnb room and just chilling there until falling asleep. But yeah, anyway, just getting back to the YouTubers thing, there are. I mean, I think we have a good variety, uh, just because Model Making Group brought this up. It's an interesting topic. And actually, us in the Gunpla Talk, in our Gunpla Talk Facebook group chat, we were kind of chatting on a kind of similar subject the other day. But one thing that I don't know all the, like, some people have asked me before, like, do you know Prime 92, or like, do you know Type V3? And those people actually don't know, like, Prime 92, Type V3, and MegaSize are probably like the other like big, like really well-known gunplay YouTubers who I have no contact with at all. I've never talked with them. Also, Jabi the Hong, I've never talked with him either. Someone else just mentioned that there. But yeah, I'm not like friends with them. I've never talked with them, but they also just don't really seem that connected to the community, from what I can see. Because like, especially, it could just be just like on Facebook. Maybe they're more involved with like the Reddit community or something, or like for Jabi, I can imagine that maybe it's likely that he's more involved in like other communities that are more for like Transformers and toys and things like that. I have no idea. But as far as like the Gunpla community, and especially like Facebook, especially, I never see them there. So that's why I think that I just don't really have any contact with them. Like, if you think about the other like YouTubers who I am quite close friends with, like Simon and Justin and Jim and like Josh and Tim and those guys, Gunpla Talk guys, and then like other guys in the community, it's because we're all like on Facebook and kind of like sharing in that community. And those other YouTubers are just like kind of not really in that community much. It's just, maybe it's just a different community, I guess, because they do different things. Like, yeah, Jabi does a lot of other like toys and things as well, which is, so he's in kind of like more spread out into multiple communities. Or like MegaSize, who does other like figures and stuff, I guess. I don't really know. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a thing. The Gunpla community, like of the YouTube Gunpla community, is pretty diverse in terms of like different people offering different things. My goal for my channel is to be really community oriented. I really like that you guys like kind of talk amongst yourself, especially when I'm doing live chats like this. I like that you guys are just like kind of talking amongst yourselves, which is awesome. And like in my comments on my videos, I love when it's just like you guys just commenting like to each other, just like talking about like relative stuff, not like just people saying first comment, and like, when are you going to review this kit? But like, that's fine, you can comment whatever you want, but just like, it's awesome to see people like just talking with each other about the kits and things like that. That's what I really like to see the most. And yeah, I try to make my content in the mind of what do I say? Yeah, it's getting late and it's kind of really hard to put thoughts together or think of the words that I want to say. But when I make my videos, I am trying to make something that will be useful for all sorts of people in the community. So, and I think this is, unfortunately, and it can be a little bit annoying for me, to be honest, when some people forget this. Ricardo wants to know, when are you going to review Suiton's wish lists? Yeah. Suiton's wish lists are not welcome on my page anymore. That's an example of something that just doesn't contribute anything to the community, so that's why it's not really welcome anyway. But yeah, this is something that I think, unfortunately, a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people, I think, just forget the context of watching my videos. Is that I tend to make my reviews with the mindset that I know some people watching, yeah, late night brain failure, some people watching my videos are just snappers. They like just snap their kits and that's it. So like I need to think about the people who are just interested in like just snapping the kit and having a nice like display piece, or they're just interested in like doing some cool poses and stuff with the kit. Then I also try to think about other people who like do like full painting and everything like that, what kind of things you might want to modify, or like seam lines and things like that. So anyway, I know that my audience is quite diverse in terms of like skill level and what you actually want to get out of a hobby. So I try to cover as much as I can in the reviews, so that no matter what your skill level is or something, that you can find good information in my reviews. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why my reviews end up being longer than most other reviewers. I think in terms of like people who are reviewing kits, mine tend to be on the long end. But it's because I'm trying to give as much information I can for as wide of an audience, when I think like other reviewers, maybe their review information is more tailored towards just generally just like snap building. Yeah. So yeah, so I hope that kind of makes sense anyway. But yeah, it's getting late. It's kind of really hard to get into talking about stuff like this when it's just kind of late and I'm tired. But it's an interesting topic, I think. Kind of community involvement as a content creator. I don't know. Yeah, there's a good idea. There in the chat, someone said Model Making Guru should start up a live stream after me. So yeah, do that, and then all you guys, when I'm done, or just like right now, just go over to Model Making Guru's channel, and then just continue watching a live stream over on his channel. A couple people are asking, can we be friends? We're all friends. Yeah, the wall of Gumpla. This is my that's my retirement. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do when I'm retired. uh, anyway, yeah, I think that's gonna pretty much wrap up this live stream. I could probably just like chat for a while more, but yeah, if I'm gonna continue live streaming, I should be working on that. But if I'm not gonna work on that, I should go to sleep. So tomorrow's Sunday, and I've got the China Guy review coming for you guys, and then I don't know if I'll be able. I'm definitely not drunk. I'm just really tired. But I don't know, doing another live stream tomorrow and finishing this in another live stream tomorrow, possibly. If I can, I'll live stream again tomorrow night to finish this kit. If I can't, then I'll just finish it on my own and see you guys in the review. So yeah, thanks for hanging out and watching. I'll also kind of just rambling at this point, but probably around the end of the week, I'll have this month's episode of Gunpla News. And in the Gunpla News episode, I'll let you guys know what the exact dates are going to be for this month's episode of G-Check, as well as this month's episode of Gunpla Talk. Actually, we haven't decided on that yet, but I'll talk with the guys to decide this month's episode date, so that I can let you guys know that in this month's episode of Gunpla News. All right, thanks for watching, guys. This kit so far is really fun. It's really big, and it's really interesting to build, just because, like I said, it's different from other kits. So pretty fun build so far, and very, very large. So thanks for hanging out, guys. See ya next time. Bye.